Cool. Okay. So the long and short of it is a lot of people find describing themselves a tricky premise. Describing yourself is hard. But when you do apply for a conference, there is always this section that asks you to put in your bio, and the bio length of the bio actually depends. Of course, it depends on the conference organizer's preference, but I think it also varies from industry to industry. I think generally for us in tech, it's I would say moderate, like short to medium. I have seen some folks write like really long bios, but like not that common. Like at least in anecdotally, I don't think it's that common. Um, oh, FYI, these slides are on search because it's free. If you, because there's some links in the slides at the end that some of you may find helpful, so I just want to share the URL here. It's already up, so if you want to click on the links, clicky, it's there. So my first advice in terms of like the whole bio writing experience is you have to check the requirements, because there's a word count. There's like a word limit, like I mentioned. So in my experience, the conferences that I have attended usually ask for about 100 to 150 words. And but like Li Hao mentioned earlier, right? You tend to submit multiple CFPs, so it's always nice to kind of have a prepared version that you can copy and paste. And it definitely doesn't hurt to have a short version and a longer version, just in case. Um, yeah, right. So I guess it boils down to what do you actually put into the bio. And I think based on advice that I've heard from other people and like people who have written articles, this is not a fixed structure, but it's a good outline if you don't have anything in mind. Like if you already have some other bio, like go ahead, like you do you. This is more advice for people who don't even know where to start. So the structure kind of goes like, oh, currently what you're doing. You can also mention what you're doing before that. That also takes up a couple of words. And usually the last bit is like some random fun fact or interesting fact, or one of those, yeah, not related to tech, is often a very common component that goes into this last bit. And so broadly, we can break it down into your professional accomplishments. Again, depending on the word count, you can go from like 1 to 3. Always nice to talk about your current occupation and role, because that kind of like takes up some words as well. Um, and the interest and fun facts are usually where you can like kind of put in all sorts of funny things. And so in the past, when this was like actually an in-person workshop, right, I would talk about this for 5 minutes, and then I would make attendees actually do stuff. So I think one of the things that can be translated into this online thing is that you ask another person to help you write your bio. Since like it seems that a lot of people have difficulty writing nice things about themselves, you could like ask a colleague to help you. Um, for previous workshops, a lot of the attendees didn't know each other. So what was even more fun is to do it with a stranger, because then you have to introduce yourself to said stranger, and I think inadvertently you tend to focus on the things that you feel the said stranger might be interested in. So that's always a good place for inspiration in terms of how you want to craft this bio, because it's kind of unfair to ask you to describe yourself in 100 to 150 words, but if the situation calls for it, that's what you end up having to do. So I don't know if folks want to screenshot this. You don't actually have to screenshot this. You can just go to this URL and look at this a bit more. There's not a lot here. It's just 3 points, right? And so I think, yeah, I have some examples of bios. I've included myself there for the really really short version. And Gion is going to be giving a talk like later, but I really like her bio because I like the interest and fun facts part of hers, because her favorite language is Korean, but she also likes Python. I don't know. That just was very appealing to me. So Jion's bio falls in kind of fit the outline pretty well in terms of like there's the professional accomplishments, what you wanna supporting things, and as well as the fun fact. So I guess I think the 100 word is a pretty sweet spot because it's like enough words for you to write proper sentences and yet still give you enough room to talk about things that are meaningful to you. So word count, it's I think most word processing software already does the word counting for you. So you can use that to make sure that you come in within the word count. Um, and yeah, I think the asking someone to help you write it bit is it will also be interesting because then you might realize that other people find things interesting about yourself that you didn't think was interesting to begin with. So that's always something. There are folks who have wrote quite extensive advice. So I've included those articles here. And so